Hey, so I thought I'd just shoot this quick video of just one of the issues that I was having that I finally got solved, and it was fairly simple. But whenever I would shift into reverse, which is the silver stick right here, so this is reverse. Every time I would shift it into reverse, there would be a short, so the reverse lights wouldn't work, and also on the gear dash marker, it would not say R. It would just continue to say neutral, even though it was in reverse, just because there was a short. And check the fuses, and the fuses were continually being blown. I don't know if you can see that, probably not. But the fuses were blowing every time I would replace it and put it into reverse. So clearly there was a short somewhere, and trying to figure out where that was not too difficult. I used my multimeter on the continuity test and was kind of testing it all over to see if there was a short to ground somewhere. And clearly what happened was back here at this reverse light. So when I was actually putting this splitter, the rear splitter, on, you can see, so one of these supports here is just a screw. It's a really long screw or bolt, and then it attaches on the inside, right? See if you can see it. Right there. And so what happened was there was the power wire, the black one, was pinched underneath that. So when I was putting the support on, I was doing it kind of blind because I was doing it from the outside and tightening the nut from the inside up here, and didn't realize that the power wire was pinched underneath that. So pretty simple to find that short. But the interesting thing is, which I did not know, and clearly is true, is this bolt that it was pinched under is not connected to the chassis anywhere. So it's only connected to fiberglass here and the splitter here. So that was kind of curious to me. And then I guess, kind of looking on the internet and looking around, there's some differences in opinion of whether carbon fiber can conduct electricity or not, and clearly it can. So this was getting shorted to ground, not through the fiberglass. The fiberglass is a pretty good insulator, but it was shorting through the carbon fiber, which is also attached to the chassis down at the bottom down there. So that's the only way for it to be shorting to ground, was actually through this carbon fiber panel. So I thought that was interesting, and it confirms to me at least that carbon fiber does conduct electricity. And the interesting thing is when I was using my multimeter on the continuity test, it does not, I think it's such a, there's not much conductivity. There's enough to cause a short, but not enough for the continuity test to say that there was actually a short to ground. If I just connected the carbon fiber with my continuity test, it would not say that there was a closed loop. So kind of interesting. But once I repaired that wire, it works fine now. So that was clearly the problem, and just thought you guys might find that interesting. That was kind of what I had figured out was that carbon fiber, it does conduct electricity, at least through a short, but your continuity tester, your multimeter, may not find it. So if you end up into any kind of problems like that, check your carbon fiber. All right, thanks. All right, so I got it back from the enhanced safety inspection, and it did pretty well. It passed for most things. The only thing that they mentioned was where I had the vents for the fuel tanks, which I have them removed now, so you can't see them, but I had one filter there. You can see the tube hanging down, and then one on the side as well. Right here with the check valve. Just because they were in the engine compartment, they didn't feel that that was safe, which I totally understand. So what I'm gonna do, the only thing I have to do is just kind of reroute those. So what I'm gonna do is actually reroute them outside of the engine bay and put a charcoal canister filter in between to basically absorb all the fumes. And so I kind of made that over here. So I'm just making one myself. This is just an aluminum jar, completely sealed, and I just added these fittings to it. So one for each side of fuel tank, so one for each one, and then a vent out the top, which I will have exit outside the engine bay. The one on the bottom, obviously, so if there are any fumes that build up that condense, it will go down out of the bottom and back into the fuel tank. So that's kind of what I have now, and I have it filled with activated charcoal and some brass wool. So that should help any kind of fumes and odors and keep it out of the engine bay, and hopefully that should be it, and it should pass and I can get it registered.